Okay, Keith Jackson, can you hear me, brother? You there with us?
Loud and clear, yes, sir.
Good, man. Good. We're blessed tonight for our TMBT Media podcast to have one of our TMBT pros, one of our captains of our team, Keith Jackson, is here with us live tonight from the DMV. Keith Jackson, can you hear me, brother?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Good, man. This is our first broadcast of the new year, so I'm blessed to have Keith Jackson here with us. He's currently at the gym, and he's taking a little time out to talk a little bit about our next project that we have going on here in Richmond, Virginia on February 19th, 2021. And so we're excited to have Keith and some more of our young men from the DMV area to be coming and to be able to have it filmed and live streamed to our network of coaches. Keith Jackson, talk to me a little bit about what you're doing to get ready for the event. Also, talk to me a little bit about what you have going on. We know you're playing pro basketball here in Fredericksburg, Virginia, close by. I'm in the DMV. Talk to us a little bit about what you have going on, what you have been doing since you left Argentina in 2019, and just about what your mental is. Let's talk about your mental and what you do and what you have done to stay ready in during these tough times during the pandemic.
You're breaking up a little bit. You said, what about you doing since the pandemic started, you said, mentally?
Right, just to maintain your focus and to maintain your physical. I know you have the luxury of playing with the pro team here in Virginia, but what have you been doing just to maintain your focus during these tough times during the pandemic?
Staying active and reading, really. Should be up on my language a little bit more, but just trying to educate myself on some things I might not start to open a book called before, just to challenge myself a little mentally, to give myself something different to do, because it's really, can't really do anything active with friends, trying to get yourself away from people, so, and then staying in the gym, of course.
Right. Talk a little bit about where you are in the DMV. Kind of give guys, some of the young guys, of course, you traveled down with us to Argentina in 2019. But for those young guys that don't know what it's about and don't have an idea, that have never traveled before, kind of fill them in or fill the listeners in on what that process is like, what you've been going through during that process for the past 2 years, and kind of take us back through your journey.
This time about 2 years ago, I was actually on, so I think I was a Sportivo by this time, but I just remember trying to watch as much basketball as I could from down in that area at that time where I was on my way to. So I had an idea of what type of ball was being played down there, what type of offense was being ran, defense was being ran, how guys are interacting, coming off the floors, on the floors, and also trying to learn a little bit about the culture and where I was headed to, so I'm not totally oblivious to what's going on around me and how people somewhat interact. Easiest way to do that, especially my language. And then, of course, listening to you and your different advice that you had and how the game is ran and how to speak and how to be around people who are off the court as well as on the court, but being a good person. So.
Well, it's funny because you.
Preparation has been into Argentina, and then when I got there, obviously,
right. It's one of those things where you have to live it. I'm a firm believer that you have to live it, and you have to be on the ground. You have to live it. Sometimes when you have a choice to learn Spanish or you don't have a choice, it's pretty easy to choose the language that you currently know. But that's the beautiful part about overseas basketball is you live and you learn. And It's one of those things where you live and you learn and you figure out what's important and what you need to get by, and then you do those things. And so I'm very proud of you. We're very proud of you. Especially with your process and everything you've been doing, maintaining focus, being patient. It's one of the reasons we have decided to make you team captain, you with Omar Briggs. And it's just the way that you and I had a chance to speak to Coach Gene Brown, your head coach for the Fredericksburg Grizzlies the other day, and he said the same thing about you. He's honored, kind of like we are, to have you aboard and to have you a part of our team and have you leading our guys, right? And so one of the things that I always try to talk about is maintaining focus. And so, hey, the good thing is you have been overseas with us. You've traveled. You've signed a contract. You've played on that level. What does it take? What can you say that it takes to sign a deal?
What did you say? Consistency. Like, you already know that you know how to play basketball when you're going down there. So as long as you're using the same building blocks that your college coaches taught you, you truly want to be a pro and you work on your game. As long as you're consistent and try to learn a little bit more than basketball as well, because you got to have more to talk about than just being able to hoop. So if you're a related guy, smart guy, and you work hard, like you'll be up for really. It's very simple. What do you say? When playing was pretty easy? When you say it's pretty simple, basketball, when you played?
It was simple when I played. It was, unfortunately, all sports are simple. Us as human beings make them difficult, right? Us as human beings, we tend to make them harder than they really have to be, especially at a young age. I don't think it's till you get older that you learn that, man, this actually is an easy sport. We just do dumb things to make the game harder. Very simple game. Exploit the mismatches and take advantage of the mismatches on the court. That's the thing about us trying to build our team now with these guys, with you guys coming here to Richmond, Virginia, is we're building a team to be able to exploit the mismatches. And so I'm really excited to get some of you guys here, yourself, Omar Briggs, some of these other guys that will be coming in as well, working here with Coach Bo Jones Jr. And I'm excited about getting some footage down to these coaches like we've been asked to do. And so it's something we've been asked to do, to get footage and to get film down to our coaches on our live stream. So we're going to start using that avenue to try to get our guys jobs, because right now it's the only form of getting our guys jobs, because we're not able to physically travel to Argentina as of now. So what are your feelings about being able to play in front of our coaches, and being that you played down there before, you kind of know the pro game, you kind of know what it takes to be a pro and to be successful in Argentina? And what are you looking forward to most, just knowing about that opportunity that's coming about?
Yeah, I'm just real anxious to get down there, period. Just being able to really get a taste for it, but really not able to get my foot fully into the door in Argentina. For me being able to play multiple positions, hopefully we can be able to see that in the video as well. A team will be able to notice that I can bring more than just one dynamic to a team in order to win. So, very, very anxious to play in front of coaches from that division to prove that I can do it. And the best way to prove it is to show it. So,
what's going to be the difference between Keith Jackson, or what's going to be the difference playing and going to our combine in Argentina pre-pandemic? And I think you are one of few players that I can ask this question. I was thinking about this the other day. What's your mindset going into our TMBT Argentina camp pre-pandemic and then post-pandemic?
I need to just check with that question.
Right. Yeah, I was asking, what's the difference for you mentally planning for your trip back down to Argentina? What's the difference in Keith Jackson preparing pre-pandemic and Keith Jackson preparing post-pandemic? Keith, can you hear me, brother? You're breaking up a little bit, brother. Can you hear us?
Exactly, shoot the ball. I said his detail.
Keith, you may be kind of far away from the phone, brother. It sounds like you're going in and out. You're breaking up a little bit. May need you to get a little bit closer to the phone. You're breaking up really bad. We can hardly hear you. I know you're in the gym. We apologize. Keith Jackson is currently in the gymnasium in the Maryland, D.C. area. And so, how about now, Keith? Can you hear us now?
I was sounding
Huh? Right. Keith, can you hear us, brother?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
You're breaking up a little bit.
Can you hear me? I can hear me.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit. I'm breaking up a little bit. We'll, no worries. Huh?
I hear you.
Okay, so we were just talking about your preparation, between pre-pandemic Argentina. You went down in 2019. What's your post-pandemic preparation like? What's your mindset and your preparation like?
Went down. How about?
Let's see. Did we lose Keith? Hey Keith, can you hear us now? Yeah, that's better, bro.
I tried to connect to the Wi-Fi.
Okay, no worries, man. No worries. So, the question was, what's different about Keith Jackson preparing to go to Argentina back in 2019, which was pre-pandemic, and what's the difference between Keith Jackson and post-pandemic?
To be honest, biggest difference would definitely be mindset and how clear my head is now. I'm not really worried about trying to fit in or really trying to learn the game. I mean, I'm always trying to learn the game out there every single day, but I'm not really going down there with that pressure with, are these guys going to like my type of skill or are they not? I already just kind of know what to expect. It's either you can do it or you can't. So, with that weight kind of lifted off my shoulders, kind of gives me a chance to really just play the game. So I feel like it'll be a lot more smoother than it was the first time I went down.
Correct.
Even though it really wasn't that bad the first time. So.
Well, it's almost like you're a veteran now. It's almost like you're a veteran and you know what to what to do, and you are kind of like the elder statesman, especially for some of these guys that it'll be their first time traveling down, or their first time being on a floor where you got all pros. It'll be different. It'll be different. It'll be different.
Bubble ball might be a little different. I'm pretty sure they're playing all those games in one spot, but I don't see that really being the big advantage. It might be an advantage, actually. Not that all the games are played in one place.
Say it again?
So it might be an advantage now, especially since all the games are being played in one place now. So,
well, this is true. This is the bubble situation that's going to be taking place. That's something that we've been talking about, and it's going to be different. For guys like yourself that have played and understand the structure that you played in last time, it's going to be totally different. It's going to be totally different. It's going to be one of those things where all the teams are going to be in the same hotel, playing in the same gym. It's going to be like a real strenuous work environment, which I think is good, because it gets the job done. It's very serious with guys that are taking a test daily or every other day. You got to stay within the parameters. So I think it's great. I think it's great for what it's doing for the people of Argentina also. I really think it's giving them a hope. It's giving them hope and giving them something to do. Even though they can't get out to the court to maybe watch it, they can watch it on TV. And so basketball and soccer are two of their pastimes that, for me, I think they really lean on and really look forward to. It really makes them happy. So on top of everything, with the pandemic going on the way it is, it's pretty cool that we're able to get back to basketball down in Argentina and South America as well. And that's a blessing, man. That's a blessing. Talk to me a little bit about, of course, we know this is Black History Month. Talk to me a little bit about what Black History Month means to you.
I don't even know what to begin to that one, but it means to me. First off, it's an honor to even be able to say anything about any of our leaders from the past on any type of platform, period. So it needs probably the most. We weren't able to do stuff like this before in the time. So the fact that we're able to reflect and educate some people who might not know about some of our leaders from the past is just an honor, period, whenever we get the opportunity.
Definitely. Well said.
A month is probably not long enough, honestly.
Well, of course it's not. We need 365 days instead of 31 days. We need 365. Hopefully, we've had quite the turnaround in racial tension in 2020, to say the least, with the George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter protests, and now with the Capitol riots. It's a time for healing and a time for our nation to heal, but we're given these days, 28 days, 30 days, whatever it is, to heal as a people and to heal as a culture. And I think it's unfortunate that we're not able to come together because of the pandemic to heal. This is a very sacred time of the year for us. So it's very unfortunate that we're not able to gather and to pray together and heal together. And it's a very unfortunate time. But nevertheless, there'll be a lot of live streaming events. We as well will be doing some more podcasts and some more projects for Black History. So it's a great time for us. We enjoy it. We try to ramp up our guests and try to have some people with some wisdom and some things to teach our audience on our podcast, especially during Black History Month. Very important. Talk to me a little bit about your first game with your team, with Coach Gene Brown, the legendary Coach Gene Brown. Talk to us a little bit about your team and how your first game went, how your team did, and your chemistry that you guys are building. Kind of from what we talked with Coach Brown for your interview last week.
With this team, I kind of came in with connection, small world through yourself. Wasn't playing that way, but he accepted my call, told me to come in, came to one workout, and then actually didn't show up for like a month or so. And then practice came back around in January, and he had a couple of guys who were in there before, but some of them weren't. He had a lot of new faces as well. So I wasn't sure what the chemistry was going to be like, because I didn't know what each guy possibly had to offer. But after this first game and a couple of practices before this game on Saturday, it's a lot of scorers, a lot of shooters around. Probably the biggest thing we need to work on is transition defense as a team. But other than that, pretty solid at every single position, whether it's go from the wing, guard, or big. And as for myself, we took care of business on Saturday. That was perfect from the field. I think we beat them by about 40, if I'm not mistaken. So next game's in a couple weeks. It'll be another decent test for our guards and our wings, obviously, because it's really guard-heavy game league. But I definitely think this team will win a lot of games, especially with myself on the team.
Well, no doubt about that. They will. You guys are coached by legendary Coach Gene Brown, and what he does is wins. Now he does that. Coach Brown wins, and he wins on a very high level. Ever since he's been coaching, and he won as a player. So it's such a blessing for, like we talked about, you having a chance to learn from him and being under his tutelage. It's a blessing to be so close to home and being able to drive down and get some work in with those guys and learn from Coach Brown. For me as the owner of our family, it's a blessing for me to know that you're able to get that type of work here to maintain your focus and maintain your conditioning. That's truly a blessing. Some guys are working, some guys can't get down and play with these teams they have, but I think it's a great avenue, a great outlet for guys to not give up on dreams and to be able to earn a few dollars, but more importantly to get some tape and be around some other pros. What's your opinion of that league that has started recently within the past couple of years, and what's your opinion of the play and the league and the teams in it?
ECBL is growing. I think anybody that truly plays, they know it's probably a lot of the top talent in the better part of the league, and then the bottom half is lower talent. On a completely honest scale. The TBL is probably a little better, but once the Grizzlies coming in with their first year in the ECBL, I don't see why they would have a problem moving on to another stronger league because Coach Gene is such a good coach. But the ECBL, it's still not a slouch league. You got some ex pros or pros that still play right now, like Trevor Booker that used to play for the Washington Wizards, just signed with the primetime players. This is the ECBL team down south. So pretty sure if you got ex-NBA guys and other Division I guys that played in maybe some lower leagues overseas as well, it makes the league a little bit better on the top side of it. So.
Okay, that's totally understandable. It's it also gives guys with wisdom and knowledge like Coach Gene Brown a chance to share and to build something and to create something with a good group of guys like yourself. So I heard you speak very highly of that group, and So I'm sure that Coach Brown is very very pleased to have you guys, such a positive group and such a group of guys who take the game very seriously. So, and that's a blessing within itself. Trust me, as a coach, to have serious guys, you and I know, you've been around enough guys that aren't serious and the guys that are serious to know the difference. And to have a good group of guys that are willing to, follow orders and win the correct way. And that's truly a blessing, man. Truly a blessing. This is going to be part one of our TMBT Media podcast with Keith Jackson. This is TMBT Pro Culture, and this will be our first installment with Keith Jackson. Keith Jackson, share your social media handles. If you got any players or you got some younger kids, students, or high school or college kids that want to get in contact with you to ask some questions about playing pro basketball, give us all of your social media handles, if you will.
Got you. My Instagram is pretty simple. It's Stages with FK. At Stages with FK is my Instagram, and then my Snapchat. That is going to be KeithJ_24. So, any questions, definitely hit me up on one of those platforms. I'll answer any questions if I can answer for sure.
Good, man. Also, I think you do Facebook as well. Correct?
Oh, yeah. My Facebook, my apologies.
Facebook is
Keith Jackson II.
Right. Right. Good. And so if we have any questions, these podcasts we try to use for motivational purposes only and to inspire some other pros that are looking for answers and maybe not knowing what to do. We try to use these podcasts to get out to let guys know to give us a call and we can answer some questions or find out some more about us, or we have more events that are coming up here in Richmond, Virginia, and it's our way of gathering our guys to making sure that everyone's in top shape and everyone's ready to go. And some guys will be getting jobs, Keith Jackson, like you and I know. Those guys that are able to show something that these coaches want to see, because the league starts on the 19th. So those guys that are able to show something will be getting picked. You of all people know how that goes.
Right. It's definitely serious.
Right.
I'll be ready, and hopefully the other guys got there ready as well.
Any words of wisdom for the guys coming down that are listening? Guys coming down to participate in the mini camps. Any words of wisdom for them to kind of show well and show what they've been working on to our coaches that are looking on our live stream?
I keep it pretty simple. Just make sure you're conditioned for the most part, and then pay attention to pick and roll basketball and some triangle offenses. Pay attention to those small things, and you already running up and down the court. You know how to stay in shape, and you'll be fine.
Right.
That's fine.
Good, man. Good. The good thing about it is, the film doesn't lie. That's all depending on how old you are. And when you're young, the film doesn't lie on you. When you're older, the film doesn't lie to you. And so the good thing is we'll have camps going on twice a month, and we'll be trying to get our guys jobs by the only avenue that we have kind of at this particular moment, which is our live streaming. That league is going to be starting. They're going to be looking for players, and so unfortunately we cannot get down to Argentina as tourists. We have to be selected by teams and have our work visas taken care of by that team or that company. So Keith Jackson, we won't keep you as long as we normally do. We're right around 30 minutes, so we will pause here for our part one of our TMBT Media podcast, TMBT Pro Culture, with Keith Jackson. Keith Jackson, we appreciate you joining us, brother. We know it's kind of late here on the East Coast, almost 11 o'clock. We appreciate you taking time out to talk to us a little bit about what your process, what your blueprint is for success. Clearly, you're having success at the pro game, and so I'm glad to have you as one of our captains to be able to share some secrets to your success, brother. And so, for our TMBT Media podcast and TMBT family, we'll be signing off tonight. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to email us at milton.bell@miltonbellbasketball.com. Our Instagram is the Milton Bell Team. Twitter, the Milton Bell Team as well. Facebook is Milton Bell Basketball. Also TMBT Media on Facebook. Our cell number is area code 702-908-1501. If anyone has any questions, feel free to contact myself, or you guys can reach out to Keith or some other players to feel free and to find out some more info on us. So for our TMBT family tonight, we'll be signing off. We really appreciate everyone listening. Today is Monday, February 8th, 2021. First podcast of the new year. Brand new show that we are starting with our TMBT Media podcast. TMBT Media Pro Culture. Thank you for listening.